just over a year since Joe Cullen won one. We've been here before because he beat Michael van Gerwen with a very impressive performance in the final of the European Darts Match Play last year to win his first European Tour crown. Can he do the double? The pair haven't met since. Michael van Gerwen has been fighting for his life in this tournament. Joe Cullen has looked classy throughout. It is a rock star against mighty Michael van Gerwen to win
first leg, Michael to throw
the International Darts Open and take the top seeding in the European Championship next week. I'm Chris Murphy and Paul Nicholson is joining me to talk you through the final on the Euro Tour in 2020.
Let's do it. Let's go out with a bang.
134.
Of course, there will be more darts on EDC TV coming up over the course
96.
of the next couple of months, likes of the Winter Series. You'll get Board 2 at the Players' Championship Finals, so plenty to come, but
59.
the European Tour curtain comes down today.
Yeah, depending where you watch, of course, the European Championship and World Cup
131.
available as well.
Yes, good shout.
Michael van Gerwen will be in both of those tournaments. One of this pair, as I said, will be the top seed in the European Championship. Van Gerwen, who won that title 4 years on the spin, but not for the last couple.
Tell you what he hasn't won. This. Don't see that very often, do you?
Don't see that very often.
Well, if it goes out of the board, it's not going to harm his chances, but
17.
it's a good switch.
116.
116 for MVG to start the party.
Game shown the first leg.
Very, very confident start from MVG,
Trophy.
who is after this title. There is a bit of a space in that very vast trophy room for another piece of glassware. He might have won 32 European Tour crowns, but if there is something missing, he will want it.
Well, it bodes well because the best performance by far, not just in this tournament but in the last few weeks, maybe even months for Michael van Gerwen, was that quarter-final victory against James Wade, and he started that match with a big ton plus finish, and he's set the standard here. He's not having to search for it from the beginning. He's found it straight away, and when he did that against James Wade, he carried on doing it.
Correct. He's had a very down up sort of weekend.
So
if you believe in patterns, he is due an up. Cullen goes down. Has left himself on 71.
90.
Where does Michael go if he doesn't get the 60 here?
Michael, we require
He'll look
100.
north. Oh, that is perfect.
80.
Oh, but he doesn't get the tops.
So you require
These are the chances
58.
that Cullen needs to clean up.
Game
Very
shown,
clean.
second leg. Joe
This
Cullen,
one
third leg,
could be
Michael,
very
third
good.
leg.
If it's as good as last year in Mannheim, it's going to be great. He's doing great.
Both players averaging over 100 in that final of the European Darts Match Play last year. And Joe Cullen said it in the semi-final, has just raised his game when he's needed to in this tournament. Didn't need to in the first couple of matches. 6-1 against Marjanovic and Chisholm. And today, or tonight rather, he's seen off the Smiths, Ross and Michael, to book his place in this decider.
42. Okay.
That's very apt, isn't it? Seeing off both the Smiths. Every day's like Sunday.
105.
Well, it's taken a few years, but finally Paul Nicholson has cracked and burst into song.
I could not resist. That's a great tune.
Michael, we require 157.
But if this goes, heaven knows he'll be miserable now.
Oh, tip me hat.
97.
Oh, lovely switch.
13. Michael requires 60.
There are going to be close exchanges in this match.
40.
Can
Joe,
Joe
you
get
require
close to
95.
an early break here? He got one against Michael Smith. Double-double. Didn't really give it much of a chance.
39. Michael, you require 20.
95. Made his mind up but couldn't
Game shot on
execute
the
the
third
finish.
leg. Michael
Gerwin
Vango,
does
full flag, Joe.
edge
full
back in
flag.
front.
$85.
Can't afford to relinquish his own throw with a whimper early on, because we know that MVG is a great front runner in Euro Tour finals. Didn't have that opportunity last week against Jose de Sousa because Jose de Wowza, as I've started to call him, found the lead and stretched it every chance he got.
134.
Well, the switching to the 19s has been
134.
supreme so far from Joe.
Yeah, but there is an opportunity here appearing.
100.
Van Gerwen probably needed a second treble, but obviously more than capable of completing a finish like this.
90. Michael, we require
Doing that kind of thing against James
136.
Wade.
Yeah, that's true. Does Cullen go back to the bullseye? Because the last two times he's
58.
gone towards it, he's
Joe,
actually
you
hit
require 92.
the red spot.
Can't find that red spot. Again, a double-double shot where he
56.
didn't really
Michael, you
attack it.
require 78.
Red at the top.
58.
Underneath.
Joe, you require
And Cullen
36.
does like double 18, usually. He's dodged a bullet here and has
Game
taken
shot
full
on the
advantage.
flag. Joe Cullen, fifth leg, Michael Hooper.
2-2.
Do you get the feeling we haven't seen the most important moment yet, but it's coming?
57.
There's going to be something happen that will be incredibly pivotal.
Well, if Michael Van Gerwen
58.
does win this,
Please, best of all the
yet
guys.
another European Tour title, I wonder where he will put it in ranking of.
100.
Not going to put it anywhere near one of his best wins, but what about one of his most significant on the European Tour?
Yeah, I think it's a very valid point.
140.
Look back to when he won his first ranking title in the PDC in 2009.
140.
Never forget your first one. Some of them will have blended into the crowd, but you get the feeling if MVG wins this one, this is going to be memorable.
Yeah, and he's got lots to remember. Has now appeared in 100 Pro
97.
Tour finals.
Joe, you require 170.
Another. And the ball.
145.
I'm surprised he missed that.
Michael, we require
Yeah, he was
So
talking
good on the
about
bullseye.
his prowess in that department. Does Van Gerwen get a dart? He doesn't. And now, a chance
87.
for Cullen.
Joe, you require 25.
Big chance. Big
Game
hit.
shot on the fifth leg.
It's going his way right now,
Joe to throw first.
which is how it went in Mannheim last September. Is MVG getting deja vu from not
Game
only
on.
last September, but from last Sunday?
Well, that right there was the problem. That was the thing that caused him all sorts of duress in that semi-final struggle
134.
against Mensa Suljovic. Michael Van Gerwen survived match darts in that, and another one of his matches, the one against Andy
59.
Hamilton this weekend, didn't look near his best against Maraz Razma yesterday either.
60.
But better against James Wade in the quarterfinals, and the start has been decent enough here.
83.
But Cullen is just got that touch of class, hasn't he, at the moment, and keeps doing enough to beat what's put in front of him.
135.
Sometimes when you look at the way Joe is playing, it's not about what he's hitting, it's about how he looks. His
59.
focus right now is immensely similar to what it was like last September when he looked ready for that first European title. He looks ready again.
Yeah, and he said that he felt like he couldn't be beaten that weekend, or at least that day. So
100.
that's what you're getting. That's the vibe you're getting off Joe Cullen. Maybe that's what he's thinking. And now he's too clear.
But if he does go on to win this title, you're going to look like a genius. You're going to be like Jeremy Clarkson. Behold my genius.
Well, if the cap fits, I'm happy to wear it.
29.
Should point out that Paul is referring to predicting a win for Joe Cullen in this tournament before a dart was thrown.
83.
Nothing is phasing him right now, and I've been very impressed with his clean doubling, but been more impressed with his cover shooting on the treble 19s, which I think has
100.
got him out of a couple of tricky spots in this match already.
Yeah, and he's had a mortgage out on double 16 at times.
140.
This game is just warming up, maybe. Van Gerwen making a little bit of a move. Can Cullen palm him off?
58.
Not quite. Does the right thing there, leaving 220 at worst, because he knows that a maximum leaves a double.
140.
Crave that 180 now.
Marco required 92.
Does get down to a finish in the end. And Gerwin's going to look at a double shots.
74.
The 140 won the semi for MVG. Cullen opting for a different route.
Trying to leave that 32, you see.
55.
Absolutely proves your point.
18.
His finishing's been impeccable. Not just in this match so far, but in the tournament. The same can't be said for Michael Van Gerwen, but he does find that double nine. Close the gap to one leg again.
Average for Cullen is just a click under 100.
140.
But the first nines are very, very similar. That's why we have a tight match, in my opinion.
134.
Can Cullen protect from here? Or will he find another wind?
Well, the best form of defence is attack, and that's what Joe Cullen's doing. And there you see Michael Van Gerwen's problem.
95.
He's thrown twice as many darts at double. You can't live with that finishing from Joe Cullen. He was above 50% coming into this match.
Special leg. Special leg. Talk about palming him off.
90.
This is what you call an NFL stiff arm.
36.
Get off me.
Having a think here.
20.
Very, very aware of where he is. I think that was very smart.
There are times when players against Michael Van Gerwen would have just gone for that to get the leg one as quickly as possible.
Some would have bust a score.
Game
But why do that when you can leave a double that you've already hit and one you like? 5-3 Cullen. There are many dart players that have a soup named after them. You ever heard of Cullen Skink?
Can't say I have, Paul.
It's a soup.
57.
Moving on. Good final. Look at the numbers we've got here, especially from Cullen. With the exception of that 16 darter, everything's been done in 5 visits. It's where you would expect to be if you're in a final.
Do players draw on experience from previous matches? This will feel very similar for Joe Cullen as that meeting just over a year ago.
Oh, it'll feel remarkably similar. Dart players are creatures of habit as well. He will have tried to do the exact same things that he did before that Mannheim final. Right, going into this one. Single 18 for tops.
98.
Can Cullen, the avid snooker player away from the dartboard, find a 147?
It would have been a 147 break as well.
97. Michael, you require 20.
Van Gerwen clinging on.
That's pretty close. Is it too close? Great
Game
shot.
on the ninth leg.
That little shift to the left opened everything up.
Cullen still in command, but he will be well aware that it can all change very quickly.
Treble 19. I know he's a good friend of Mark Webster, and Webster was noted for his treble 19 shooting, but I tell you what,
58.
Razma like this shooting at the treble 19.
He's also a good friend of Devon Peterson, and we've seen what he's been doing of late, and I just wonder if that's been a little bit of extra motivation for Joe Cullen.
Has to be. Has to be. And I'm not even sure Joe is aware that if he wins this tournament, he will be
59.
number 1 seed for the Euros, and that will be a little feather in his cap as well.
Yeah, of course. Maybe
69.
it is just the thing that has seen Joe Cullen perhaps put in more time on the practice board and less on the snooker table.
41.
He has said this year that he's felt a little bit lax on practice. It's not showing because he's done enough hard yards since he said that.
99. Joe, you require 59.
59 needed. 52 needed. Might be a happy accident, that.
Game
Oh,
shot
yeah.
on the 10th leg.
Well said, Murph.
Joe Cullen, 11th leg. Michael
Anything and
with
everything to leave 32. He's behaving like Ratajski.
100.
That's his kind of tactic. There's another subplot to Cullen winning this as well, isn't there?
Yeah, if Joe Cullen does win this final, he'll move back into the world's top 16.
34.
And that's where you want to be.
96.
Well, that highlights why he is where he is rather well. Joe Cullen in this tournament has been taking his opponents to finishing school.
It would be heartbreak for Van Gerwen if Cullen takes the title. 2 losses in finals in the space of 8 days. But then it would be typically MVG if you went and won next week.
64.
We were looking at the potential for how the draw would pan out, and if Joe Cullen does win this and become the number 1
95.
seed, it would push Michael Van Gerwen down to 5, which would actually set up a first round meeting with Ross Smith, who knocked him out of the European Championship last year.
51. Marco,
Never rains, but it pours.
52.
Both in the same finish. Joe
90.
knows the
Joe,
end
you
of this
require
one has a 32 on it.
152.
Just get the feeling that Joe is
87.
trying to be like a
Marco, you
swan up
require
there.
62.
Might be fluttering a bit in the chest department, but he's trying to stay calm.
Game
And
shot
that
on the
32
11th
bet is
leg.
getting a
Michael
battering
Van Gerwen,
in this
12th leg, Joe
final.
to throw first.
11 legs
Game
in,
on.
and Cullen is constantly protecting that break with his life.
140.
Hanging around Michael Van Gerwen.
He was lucky to get to the final because Sudovic missed chances to get to this stage.
Andy Hamilton missed a dart at the bullseye to beat him.
59.
What is it they say? When your name's on pot, lad. That's not my phrase.
58.
It's been a while since his name has been on any pot.
Oh yeah, 162 coming in. Maybe not.
109.
Actually, that might have been a happy accident because if he'd have hit those 2, that second dart was a bit dangly. The last thing you need in this final is 54 points on the floor.
57.
This is a very, very important time for Joe Cullen to keep holding his throat, which he's been doing throughout this match.
That moment I was talking about, the pivotal moment.
134.
Have we already seen it? Or is it about to happen?
97.
well. He clicked 88 to win in Mannheim. It's 88 on the end of the treble three.
Please.
Yeah, we don't need that. Well done, Russ Bray. Calling for order. Well done, Joe Cullen. Stepping back.
69. Mark will require 152.
Van Gerwen can't take advantage.
70. Joe, you require 28.
Almost a dead catch shot at the bullseye there.
Can you just clip that in?
7. Oh, that's huge! Huge from Cullen, because if he misses that and Van Gerwen clicks his, we have a very, very different final.
Yeah, you were talking about potential pivotal moments, Paul, and often we think of big checkouts, 9 darters, missed doubles, but that double 7 could be the crucial difference in this match.
Could be something as small as getting a 5 checkout, a 1 double 2. But there, for Cullen, it was rescuing that 28 checkout in the last dart.
55.
And I think Van Gerwen is starting to feel that this is slipping away.
And he never used to feel like that. Seen some remarkable stuff. One of his European Championship wins against Gary Anderson in Hasselt.
Yeah.
I think he won the last 4 rounds.
174.
That was remarkable, as was that visit from Michael, who was fighting tooth and nail to try and stay in this final, but Cullen comes back and he's set up 140 for the title.
90.
What is this going to do for the confidence of Cullen to win his 2nd European Tour Championship, and both of them against Van Gerwen in the final? What will that do for his confidence?
83.
Well, Michael Van Gerwen kicked off this match with 116 checkout. Now he needs to stay in it by taking out 114. And that's not going to happen,
60.
so it's match
Joe, you
point
require 57.
for Joe Cullen. And it is Joe Cullen's crown as the rock star reigns in Riesa. Michael Van Gerwen once again beaten in the final, and he will not have his name on the European Tour roll.